Hello and welcome back to Longship Gaming. Today we are playing new hero, Ghost Spider, versus new villain, Venom, from the new Sinister Motives box set. Very excited to play this expansion. Have not played against this villain, have not played Gwen yet. Down in the description I will place the link to the deck design video I did, explaining why I made the deck the way I did. But we're going to lean into Ghost Spider's very high innate defensive capabilities with a protection deck. So, to that end, for our allies, we have Silk, Spider UK, Spider-Man Miles Morales. For our events, 2 copies of Desperate Defense, 2 copies of Tackle. Normally a great card, but I don't know if it's going to do much in this scenario, as we'll see when we go over Venom. 2 copies of Counterpunch, 2 copies of Jump Flip, and for upgrades, Unflappable, Armored Vest, Flow Like Water, Nerves of Steel, Hard to Ignore, Electrostatic Armor, Night Nurse, 2 copies of Defensive Training, and of course, 2 copies of Power Protection for our resource cards. The only basic cards in this deck are Strength, Genius, and Energy. So we'll get shuffled up and ready to go, and we'll be right back. We are back and shuffled up. So, as usual, we are playing on Expert. So Venom starts on 18 hit points. On stage 2, he has a 2 scheme and a 2 attack. Comes in with a tough card, and he has Steady. So that's why our 2 stun cards aren't really going to do much in this particular matchup. When revealed, search the encounter deck and discard pile for the Tooth and Nail side scheme, which has been put out. His ability is Vengeance, which is a forced response. After you attack and damage Venom with a card you control, place 1 face-down boost card on your identity. The key there is after you attack and damage. So there are some cards in here that don't actually attack, they just cause damage back to him when he attacks. His scheme has a 10 threshold, Leave Us Alone. Force Interrupt, when Venom activates against you, move each face-down boost card from your identity to Venom. So the more you hurt him, the more he's going to hurt you back. So you want big swings against him. You don't want to chip damage at him, or else he builds up quite the large number of attacks against you, or powerful attacks. How do we mitigate this? It's Bell Tower, so it's an environment. Location Quiet. If there are at least 3 per player chime counters here, flip this card. Interrupt, when any amount of damage would be dealt to Venom by an attack, you may place that many chime counters here instead. Why is it important to have it ringing? Well, on this side, location ringing, increase all damage Venom takes by 1. If there are no chime counters here, flip this card. Force Interrupt, when Venom's attack would deal any amount of damage to an identity, remove that many chime counters from here. For each chime counter removed this way, prevent 1 of that damage. So we want to keep those bells ringing and have a lot of counters on them so we can't flip down to the quiet side. So we can do more damage and to mitigate damage that's against us. And again, this specifies as an attack. Tooth and Nail, his side scheme. A response, after Venom takes any amount of damage from an attack, remove an equal amount of threat from here. Gives us an additional encounter card, starts at 8. Note that this is any amount of damage from an attack, and happens simultaneously with placing chime counters on the bell tower. So this one is going to be important to get rid of, just because we don't want that many encounter cards coming our way. So over to Gwen. She starts at 10 hit points. On her alter ego side, she has a 3 recovery. Action, choose to either shuffle Ticket to the Multiverse from your discard pile into your deck, or ready George Stacy, only once per round. On her hero side, Ghost Spider, she has a thwart of 1, an attack of 2, and a defense of 3. Dizzying Reflexes, a response after you resolve an interrupt or response ability on an event, ready Ghost Spider, only once per phase. This I'm going to have to remember. if she's done it or not on her turn, so I'm probably going to use her model here to put on her card to remind myself, because it's easy to forget. She has a starting hand of 6, which we've already dealt ourselves, so let's see where we're starting out at. Desperate Defense, George Stacy, Ghost Kick, Defensive Training, Flow Like Water, Web Bracelet. Okay. All these are pretty good. Let's see. Anything we can do to build our engine is going to be good. Web Bracelet is very good for card draw, of course. Flow Like Water is very good. Don't know if we need Defensive Training out quite yet. Ghost Kick. Be good to deal some damage. Let's see what we can do here. I think definitely want the web bracelets out. I think we want George Stacy. We're going to exhaust him to attach the Ghost Kick. Going to flip over. I think we're just going to ping the damage off of him, or ping the tough off. So now, basically, we have George Stacy. We've got what we can do with him is events attached to George Stacy may be played as if they were in your hand, which is pretty good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Phantom Flip, Counterpunch, Spider-Man, Pirouette and Punch, and Unflappable. So we have lots of available cards to help with our defense. Okay. So over to Venom. He's going to scheme. He's going to attack. He's got a basic attack of 2. We are going to defend. Let's see which one we want to use here. We'll see how much, if anything, this does. So it is a base of 2, 3, so no damage. Let's then use our counter punch, since it costs 0, to do 2 damage to Venom. I'm going to divert that from him to the bell. Take 1 off of there. That draws us a card from the web bracelets. We flip back up. Is there anything else we want to do there? We could thwart some more off of Tooth and Nail, which might be worth it. So let's get rid of Spider-Man. Oh, I've done this sort of in the wrong order. We shouldn't really have Night Nurse yet. So what we're going to do is spend these 2 on Phantom Flip in response. Get 5 off that scheme. So now we're down to our 2 cards, but we still have this one available to us. Okay. So he has 2 encounter cards coming our way. First one. Lashing Out. After Venom takes an amount of damage from an attack, remove an equal amount of threat from here. So now he's accelerating. Oh, I forgot to give ourselves a boost card. So actually, that should have been the boost card. This is a very complicated scenario. That should have been the boost card because we damaged him. So let's put that back. So, first actual encounter card. Master Plan. Place 4 threat on a side scheme. So, 4 threat goes back on Tooth and Nail. Second one. Biting Retort. When revealed, Venom activates against you. Each boost card turned face up during that activation gets +1 boost icon. Okay. So, he's going to attack. We're going to defend again. This will be, so it's +1 per. So it's 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. Okay. So he gets, now we are angry. Gets 2 rage counters. He has +1 attack. Venom's attacks gain overkill. Forced response after Venom takes any amount of damage from an attack, remove 1 rage counter from here. Okay. We used a basic, we used our defense, so we take 2. We are going to use Night Nurse and Unflappable to spend this hero response, Ghost Kick. So it's going to do 6 damage to an enemy. So we are going to choose to put all 6 of that onto the bell tower. And that 6 is going to blow through to Tooth and Nail. So that's gone. And 1 counter comes off of Now We Are Angry. And I think that's it. Got no cards in hand. That was his turn. So now it's back to us. No cards. So I think we need to, not much we can do on this turn. I think we're going to need to flip over. This is Gwen's side. As our action, we don't need to ready George because we have nothing in our hand. I don't think Ticket to the Multiverse was in there. No, it was not. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That was a very interesting turn. So she's a difficult character to get used to in terms of a lot of, I think what you're doing a lot of the time is to be defending and hoping to do most of your damage and so on the crackback against him. Okay, so we picked up Ticket to the Multiverse, Defensive Training, Silk, Nerves of Steel, Hard to Ignore, and Web Bracelets again. Okay. So, back to Venom. He's going to scheme. He will scheme. He's got a scheme of 2. Oh, okay. So, now he's even more angry. Super angry. Okay. His attack's gone up to 4. It's kind of nasty. Okay. Encounter card. Gang Up. Surge. So we're an alter ego. Under Fire. Surge. Reveal top card of the encounter deck. Okay, so Surge, and then reveal. Attached to villain, violent tendencies. Force response after attached villain takes any amount of damage from an attack. Give the attached villain 1 face down boost card. If that attack dealt 3 or more damage to attached villain, discard this card. Okay. Wow. I'm going to run out of room from all the extra conditions that he has on him. And the next one, Worried Father. Search your deck and discard pile in play area for George Stacy and set him aside. Attach this obligation to him. Okay. So worried. Let's put it this way. So worried and currently so useless. Okay, so that was a lot of surging. Back to us. Let's flip over. Let's get more of this stuff out here. Let's do Nerves of Steel. I think we're definitely going to need Silk out to defend for us. I'd love to have the other web bracelet, but I don't think we're going to need it right now. Let's put out Silk. After you play Silk from your hand, if you control another Web Warrior card, which we do, search the encounter deck for a Treachery and discard it. So what we do not want is everybody's most hated card, Shadows of the Past. At least the lizard won't be, well, for now, joining the party. Okay. Well, I think we need Thwart, because he's over halfway there. Oops. Could damage him, because we're doing extra damage now because of the bell tower, which would make violent tendencies go away, which I think is probably what we're going to have to do. Oops. All right, Silk, she's going to thwart. We're going to attack, which is going to be an attack of 3. So let's put 3 on him. That's going to cause these 2 tokens to come off. So that's gone. This is going to go. Give the attached villain 1 face down boost card. Okay. So it's going to get 1 there. We're going to get 1. I think Silk is going to be in for a really bad time. We have Hard to Ignore in hand. Let's get rid of that. And let's ready up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, yeah, we thwarted. Must not forget that. Web Binding, Spider UK, Pirouette and Punch, Electrostatic Armor, and Jump Flip. Okay. Let's... He's going to scheme. He's going to attack. So he's going to get 3 boost cards plus the 1 attack. So he's up to 3 base. I think we're just going to have Silk get in the way of this rather than wasting a web binding. Yeah. Okay. So 3 boost cards. So 3. 4. 4. Poor Silk. She did her job, though. But she got run over. Now we're angry. Goes away. Encounter card. Loose ends. When revealed, search the encounter deck discard pile set aside area and remove from game area for a copy of your obligation. Then reveal it. During that reveal, if you change alter ego form, discard one random card from your hand. If your obligation was not revealed this way, the card gained surge. So, our obligation is Worried Father. It's not set aside, it's not discard. It's actually in play right now. So loose ends isn't going to do anything. So it's going to surge. Exhaustion, surge. Scheme. Scheming for 2. Okay, there's a chance you could just scheme out here. So I think that we're going to have to use, and we can't because we don't have enough. We don't have enough genius resources to be able to pull this off, to be able to webbind to stop him. Okay, well, this could be it right here. So it's a scheme of 2, 3, 4, and yeah. Wow. Okay, well, I don't think there was much we could have done about that. That was a whole lot of surging in a very short period of time. And just a mismatch in the kind of resources we have. We just needed one more. Oh, hold on. Let's wind that back a second. Let's read Pirouette and Punch. When a card is revealed from the encounter deck, deal damage to the villain equal to one more than the number of boost icons. Cancel that card's when revealed effects. Well, there's not a when revealed effect, so that doesn't work. And jump flip doesn't work either, unfortunately. We were just one resource away from being able to, I think, to stabilize on that turn, and we would have been in a pretty good spot. Bell Tower only affects damage from attacks, so wow, he really does want to be left alone. I mean, I think this deck's okay. I just think we got in this unfortunate situation of having so many schemes at once and so many surges and so many ways that sort of messed with us. Venom surprises me that way. Maybe it was just because we had a lot of cards coming from the down-to-earth sort of obligations that were affecting us. But yeah, oh well, that's how it goes sometimes. I'm interested in playing this one again just to see how it performs under better circumstances for us. But Venom meant it when he said he wanted to be left alone, and Gwen agrees and returns to look after her worried father. So, all right, well, that's it for this game. Maybe one day we will revisit it, but next game up for this set will be back to Miles Morales and his aggression deck against Mysterio. If you like this, please let me know in the comments below. If you spotted anything that I should have done that I didn't do. How you plan to take on Venom, I'd be very interested to hear. If you liked the video, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more content, and hit the bell for notifications for when I put up new videos. Until then, this has been Longship Gaming, and happy gaming.